If there's one thing I know, it's that people love it when Mike and I talk about Amico. So let's begin. Welcome to Bog Panda. I'm Kelly at KELLYTHUL on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm Dr. Mike at Official Pagan on everything. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, leave a comment about how happy you are with our feelings for the Amico, and maybe some feelings of your own, and why you're drying those, as Kelly calls them, liberal tears. You could be soaking those up with a fresh new T-shirt from our merch store, and you're gonna need something to cry yourself to sleep to. So you might as well put on the Hard No playlist. It's the world's shortest podcast, and it's right here.
And it comes out daily, like the mail. So we're still working on that, folks. So, but yeah, we've of the videos we've had that have gotten some traction and in interaction. It does seem Super Console X always seems to do pretty well in terms of folks being interested in it. But our Amico work, our hard hitting, deeply researched Amico work, has probably gone the best. So we're going to talk about it some more. And there's updates afoot. So we'll include a
There
link in
is.
the video description from really nice, kind of much more kind of detailed recap of the most recent press release from the CEO. But we're going to talk about a few little tidbits that have come forward on the Amico. So if you were to summarize the news or the information that has been most recently provided about the Amico, how would you do that? What's your summary?
There is no Amico.
That's a pretty good thing. Yeah. And it's because we're blazing new trails in areas that are already heavily saturated and covered, and there's no new unique insights for us to bring. I think that would be.
Sounds right.
Yeah. And kiss your crowdsourcing money goodbye. You pre-order
Yeah.
people, which I feel for, because you could. I know there are a decent number of folks out there that are like, well, you knew this wasn't going to happen from the beginning. And it's like, I think it's fair to be a little skeptical. Not every Kickstarter thing, whatever, happens anyway. But I mean, I don't think it was a lead pipe cinch for this to go down as many flames as it has. But it's, I mean, there's
Yeah,
really no
actually,
question now.
personally, while I wasn't necessarily the target audience or in the market for this, I was hoping it would come out.
And me too. I liked the aspects of it. I thought the what was going to become kind of a different approach to a controller, a smart controller to a certain degree. I thought that was interesting, and that would that would be pretty kind of cool environment. It was definitely, had it happened, something I would have taken a look at, because it was a there were elements of it that were kind of truly a unique approach, which is interesting given the fact that their new direction seems to be breaking into. I don't know if folks are aware, but you can have games on your phone, and so
What?
they're gonna do mobile
Like a
games now.
rotary phone?
Yeah, yes, I don't know. Well, you play Doom on your rotary phone, so. But even if you happen to have one of them smartphones, then you can actually play games on. But it seems like they're kind of staying. That's their market, and then they're kind of saying, well, we're still dedicated to the family gathered around the TV. Um, after churning butter or whatever their story is, but family, everybody interacting together. And now they're saying, but this whole council thing, it's a problem. so we're gonna figure it out, but you'll do it on your phone. And I'm like, oh, it's like Jackbox. So what you're gonna do is something somebody's already doing like 100 times better than you could. I mean, I'm not sure you could do better for mobile gaming than Jackbox on Steam, and you can have multiple people playing all over the place. You could gather the family around the TV and play it that way if you wanted to. But there's no like new there anymore, and they're selling their IP to other platforms. Not that there's a ton of IP to sell, but some.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, the whole selling point of this console, which they still don't fully say will never happen, but the whole selling point, but the whole selling point of this console is the idea that these are exclusive games, or at least exclusive versions of games with some extra stuff on there. So now nothing is exclusive to them. And what doesn't make sense is, they're entering this insanely saturated marketplace of mobile gaming, but the selling point to developers is you get to have the Intellivision Amico logo on there when you sell it in stores, and they get to take a cut of it. That
Because there's nothing that puts
sounds
somebody in a
cool.
buying mood better than
Yeah,
seeing the word Amico right now.
right. It's like, oh, that's cool for somebody, I guess. As if this were like a huge brand that was going to sell your game as an indie developer. And then the other part of it is licensing out the IP. And the video that we were both watching, they made a point like Atari does that. Atari licenses out its name to all kinds of things, from the fight stick to Arcade One Up to the 50th anniversary collection. But here's the thing with that: that's Atari. That's a way bigger, more recognizable logo. And all those things I just mentioned are awesome
Yeah.
and exist.
And they're not entering a highly saturated market. I mean, the fight sticks are a really good example. I mean, there are options out there, certainly, and there's good ones
Mm.
out there, but it's not like it's been done 1,000 times before, and they're not breaking any new ground, and you're getting all that Atari IP that has actually carries a little more cachet.
Right. The fight stick's a
The
great example. Yeah, there's other arcade sticks available, but this is something that specifically geared towards a really high end market. This is something that's all wood, all super high end buttons and controls and all that kind of stuff. It's meant for a really high end experience. They're hitting very specific markets with their stuff. This is hitting cell phones, you know, the widest market.
yeah, yeah, and solving a problem that's been solved. So it's like, so you're not, because I guess you could say, yeah, we're entering the mobile market and we're going to enter it by providing these games that are totally exclusive, that folks have never seen before, that are going to bring kind of a whole new experience to it. And you're getting really none of that. You're getting, well, we're going to retread some television stuff and slap some more sprites in, and it's unique. And it's just, I don't see how they can go in. I mean, they need to, probably the Amico cryptocurrency would be a better move at this point than what they're doing. So it sucks in terms. I guess the only thing that is, if they can at least generate enough income that they can eventually pay the people back who are never going to receive the Amico Council, that's to me the only reason they should carry on at all, is to kind of make good to the people who had hope and believed in them at least somewhat.
Yeah, that's the thing that sucks. Like, I feel like by them not, even though they're announcing this, there is still like someday the council will come kind of a hint in there. And it's like, give that up at least. Like, stop stringing along the people who are still actively supporting you.
Yeah, because I think the press release or the information that came out actually did include a link to some people playing a game on a prototype Amico, which is kind of cold. I mean, at this point, it's like, yeah, we're gonna still
Like,
do
doesn't it
amazing
look
things.
fun?
You're never gonna see it, but we're not really even. It's not even a priority for us. But just to remind you, this is what you're not getting. So it doesn't seem good.
No, it's definitely something that's been mishandled. I mean, there will be books and documentaries and things about this in the future.
So I continue to believe that the Bog Panda branded Virtual Boy will, once we start the crowdfunding for that, we will deliver.
Is it going to be Bog Boy or Virtual Panda?
I think Bog Boy. I think Bog Boy's the way we gotta go. Um, but yeah, we'll get that figured out because it'll be a whole new world. You can strap it to your. I don't know what you're gonna be able to do. We're working it. We'll figure it out. But the
It's
Bog
strapped to
Boy,
you somewhere.
yeah, strap it somewhere and
The
uh,
Bog Boy, strap it somewhere.
see, it's selling itself right now. So keep an eye out for that Kickstarter, folks. We're looking forward to your support.
Bog Panda.